introducing a special guest, the Honourable Filomena Tassi. Minister Tassi was first elected as Member of Parliament for the riding of Hamilton West, Ancaster, Dundas in 2015. She previously served as the Minister of Public Services and Procurement, Minister of Labour, Minister of Seniors, and is currently the Minister of the Federal Economic Development Agency of Southern Ontario. Minister Tassi has been a great local champion, and we look forward to continuing to work with her on projects such as this behind us to bring more affordable housing to Hamilton. Please join me in welcoming the Honourable Filomena Tassi.
The wind is picking up. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for hosting us here today. Adam, thanks for that very kind introduction and for the important land acknowledgement. Great to be joined by you as CEO of CityHousing Hamilton, and as well as Councillor Narinder Nan. Always a pleasure. And we're going to talk a little bit about the economic statement and the investments that the federal government is making. Our government is making investments to secure your future. Young people in Canada cannot afford to buy a home, and we know housing is one of Canada's top concerns. We've heard you, and we are taking action. We have taken strong steps to help with the challenges Canadians are facing in finding a home they can afford. Since 2015, our Liberal government has invested over $500 million in Hamilton's housing shortage, including our recent $93.5 million Housing Accelerator Fund. This funding together has built or repaired almost 7,500 units in Hamilton to date. We've invested $1.7 billion to secure Hamilton's LRT so that Hamiltonians have better transportation options to live, work, and play. Contributed $400 million to ArcelorMittal Dofasco switch to electric arc furnaces, which helps ensure AMD stays in Hamilton for years to come. Our government provided support for this city housing location, which will soon be new affordable housing for Hamilton residents. Happy to have an opportunity to tour it and to hear about the progress. It's going to be a fantastic home to many Hamiltonians that are in need. We've also moved forward on important measures for families, like increasing the Canada Child Benefit, ensuring their children can go to the dentist, and creating $10 a day childcare here in Ontario. The measures we have already taken and the ones identified in the economic update will help make a difference so that working hard and saving money can once again mean that families can have a home to grow in. The update focused on two key objectives: supporting the middle class at a time when prices are still high and mortgage renewals are looming, and building homes Canada needs. Our goal is to help Canadians through an incredibly challenging time by making sure Canadians have the support they need to afford their mortgages and keep their homes when renewing at a time of higher interest rates. To protect Canadians who have mortgage payments at a time of higher interest rates, we are launching a new Canadian Mortgage Charter. The Canadian Mortgage Charter details the tailored mortgage relief that Canadians have the right to expect from their banks if they are in financial difficulty. We are committed to taking further action on housing. Building the homes our country requires demands a great national effort, and it is an effort that our federal government is leading. Building on the significant action we've already taken, our government is taking further concrete steps to get more homes built faster and to help make housing more affordable across the country. We are changing the financial equation for home builders and unlocking tens of billions of dollars in new financing, money that will go towards supporting the construction of new homes for Canadians. We are supporting nonprofit, co-op, and public housing providers. We will be helping to cut the red tape that prevents construction workers from moving across the country to build homes, and we will be bringing to Canada more of the skilled trades workers that our construction sector needs. And we will be cracking down on non-compliant short-term rentals listed on sites like Airbnb and Verbo, which are keeping far too many homes off the market in communities and cities right across the country. Our government's economic plan is centered on the promise of Canada. If you work hard, you can share in the remarkable possibilities of our remarkable country, with a good career that pays you well and with a home that you can afford. Building a Canada that delivers on this promise will be our government's work for the next 2 years and beyond. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Minister Tassi, for joining us today and making this important announcement. As Minister Tassi pointed out, we are also very happy to be joined by CityHousing Hamilton's Chair and President, who happens to also be Councillor Narinder Nan for Ward 3 in the City of Hamilton. So.
Thank you, Adam. On behalf of Mayor Horvath and all of Hamilton City Council, thank you, Minister Tassi, for joining us today and making this very important announcement. The housing crisis remains our key priority to tackle here in Hamilton. And as CityHousing Hamilton, the largest social housing provider in the city, we need to continue to find new and innovative ways to build our units quickly and at a lower cost. I want to extend my appreciation to the federal government for their support and investment so that we can help some of those who've been made most vulnerable here in Hamilton find a safe, secure home. Now let me tell you a little bit about this building. The building was made possible because of funding through CMHC's Rapid Housing Initiative and the City of Hamilton's gift of an underutilized municipal parking lot. In fact, this one is one of 4 of new CityHousing Hamilton communities that will be opening its doors in 2024, none of which would have been possible without the support of CMHC. This particular building is expected to be completed in the second quarter of 2024. It's going to provide 24 studio apartments at deeply affordable rates, as well as providing community space as well as amenities. This building represents an important first for CityHousing Hamilton. It is our first volumetric, modular, high-performance building. In fact, it's the first in Eastern Canada. It is targeted to be certified to the Passive House standard, meaning it's up to 90% more efficient than typical buildings without sacrificing comfort. In addition, it was constructed utilizing a modular construction approach in which the building was constructed off-site, then transported to Hamilton, and has been assembled and will be finished here on location. This innovative approach increases the speed of delivery, as well as allowing most of the construction to take place at the same time as the site is being prepared. Lastly, I am pleased to share that this project has already been awarded a Silver World Architectural News Award in future projects in the residential category. Thank you so much, and back to you, Adam.
Thank you very much, Councillor Nan. I believe that at this time we are opening up for questions from the media.
All right, thank you all for joining us here today. We're very good for time, so we will let it run for about 10 minutes today. First come, first serve. Please direct your question to whoever you'd like to answer. Thank you, Kevin.
Minister, yes. So the fall economic statement, how will it impact Hamilton? How will any benefits, especially within the next, 6 months type of thing?
So thanks, Kevin, for that, for the question. And I want to make clear that Hamilton has really been the beneficiary of a number of investments from the federal government. We've advocated to get federal dollars here on so many levels. On the fall economic statement, it's really about housing and affordability. Those are the 2 key measures. But as I've said in my notes, Hamilton has received in the housing front alone over $500 million since 2015. And I think, as Councillor Nan has said, it's really about the collaboration of bringing parties together so that those funding dollars can lead to results like the amazing build that's behind me. In terms of the actual fall economic statement, in the housing front, there's $15 billion in new loan funding for apartment construction loan program. This is going to ensure that more homes are built, and this will now lead to a total of $40 billion. In addition, there's a $1 billion commitment made to the Affordable Housing Fund, which was known previously as the Co-Investment Fund. This is another fund really important, and in Hamilton we've seen the benefits. If you look at the YWCA on Ottawa Street, it was one of the first builds from the Co-Investment Fund, and I was really happy and proud to see the leadership with the team at the YWCA who jumped on this opportunity and ultimately created a space for women and their children, particularly those escaping violence. So in terms of the actual monies and investments that are made in housing, those are a couple of examples of opportunities that will be available to Hamilton and Hamiltonians. And then also in terms of, ensuring that the spaces that we have, we utilize those as quickly as possible. The Airbnb and the crackdown on that is another measure, and I think that the mortgage charter is something that Hamiltonians will benefit by. We know many people are in a position where they have to renew their mortgages. We want to ensure that banks are providing services that are fair and open, and this is why we are implementing measures that will ensure that that transition is an easier one and help with affordability issues.
The compared to past fall economic statements, this one seems to be a little bit more restrained in spending. I'm assuming it's because the federal government doesn't want to provoke more inflationary prices.
So I'd first say that affordability is a top concern for Canadians. We've heard this over and over again. We want to ensure, and we've always moved forward with a plan that's going to balance protecting Canadians and getting them through particularly difficult times like COVID, but at the same time ensuring that we are fiscally responsible. And it's always finding that balance as we move forward. We've worked very hard to do that. There are things in the fall economic statement that don't cost dollars, like strengthening the Competition Act so that things like grocery prices can be reduced. So we look for measures that also do not cost money. It's the same with the mortgage charter, trying to be extremely fiscally responsible so that Canadians will still reap the benefits, but at the same time making sure that the investments that we are making are targeted investments in the areas of greatest need. And housing is one of those examples. And I am really proud of the work that Hamilton has done on the housing front, really bringing people together, working with the city. The Accelerator Fund was one of the most recent announcements. These are initiatives that are going to respond to the needs that are immediately there with Hamiltonians, like housing, and other initiatives that are going to help Hamiltonians and Canadians with the day-to-day expenses that they are facing by bringing those down.
I had one more.
Yeah, we'll just let this pass.
As long as it doesn't stop here.
Hey, if you can make
I did have one more. With the fall economic statement, does this mean that there's going to be, or the pharmacare program will be delayed, or will it even be a reality?
So we've recognized that pharmacare is something that Canadians have been advocating for. You know that we understand the importance of pharmacare. We have made commitments in this regard, and we're going to continue to work to ensure that we can deliver pharmacare to Canadians. So the fall economic statement is not a budget. It's actually a statement to set out where the government is, to give Canadians an idea so that they know the fiscal lay of the land in Canada, and then also demonstrate moving forward the immediate concerns. And as I've said, immediately the two main concerns are housing affordability and affordability generally.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, sure, go for it. Oh, sure, yeah. Okay. And that closes today's media availability. Thank you,
Thank
everyone,
you.
for joining us here today.
Thanks.